last UCI Women's World Tour race of the calendar, the peloton headed to Guilin in the south of China for the Tour of Guangxi. A one-day race consisting of a rolling 145.8 kilometres, starting in the quaint Guilin Garden Expo Park, before the riders would make their way into the finish in the heart of the city centre. The last race of the season also meant the last ever race for the Women's World Tour team, Wiggle High 5. The French rider AUDREY CORDON-RAGOT was looking for success for their final farewell.
It's different mix of feelings, it's also the last race of the season, last race with Wiggle, and it's a mix of emotions. I've been training until last week where I was racing the Chrono des Nations, so I'm not super fit, but I'm not unfit, so I will see how my legs are.
I think it could be any race today. I mean, there's a few climbs, but then there's 40k flat to the finish, so it could be a small bunch or a big bunch sprint. I think it's quite rolling out there. It's very different to last year's race, so yeah, I think also the weather might play a part, because I think the roads can be quite slippy here when it's wet, so yeah, just got to be careful as well out there.
I'm not sure about myself, but I think it's good for our team that there is that climb. We have strong girls, especially Lucy Kennedy is really strong on the climb, so for sure we want to use that as an opportunity. That'll be no surprise to anyone, I think, and then see what's happening after that. It's the last race of the season and we know that, so it's been a long season, but it's a nice way to kind of finish it off now, and with such a big race and in a beautiful location.
However, due to adverse weather, these climbs, as well as a few short-lived breakaways, did little to prevent what would be a reduced bunch sprint. In the final 500 metres, teams Canyon SRAM and ASTANA held promising lead-outs for sprinters Hannah Barnes and ARLENIS Sierra. However, it was the Cuban Sierra who was able to snatch the win, her second World Tour win this season. Barnes held on for second, while Zara Mustanen of Team Experza Footlogic took the final place on the podium. Well, it was complicated at first because of the rain, but afterwards we got used to the weather. I say thank God now for my teammates, and to God for allowing me to have won the race. I think it was complicated at the end because I only had one teammate left, but I was still able to achieve the win.
I felt really good. I was feeling surprisingly well, actually. It's been a month since the last race, so I wasn't really expecting to be going this well, but and then going through the last corner, I was actually surprised to be up there and feeling so good still.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were expecting it to be quite a lot wetter. It was the start was quite dry, and then we hit the climbs with, I think we were about 100k in, and it was just rain, and over the top of it you couldn't see more than 20 metres in front of you. It was just fog, so yeah, it was quite entertaining. And then yeah, it was actually a really aggressive race. I thought people were going to be quite tired from the early start and the jet lag, but yeah, it was just from the start really quite aggressive, and there's a lot of teams that only had 4 riders, so the teams that had 6 really took advantage of that, I think, and we just had to be clever and make sure that we saved well as we could and go with the moves that we needed to go with.
Elsewhere in the top 10, Elisa Longo-Borghini gained 7th for her last race with Wiggle High 5, and today's breakaway rider Elena Peroni takes 9th. Amanda Spratt's 16th place gains her points for the UCI Women's World Tour jersey. However, it's not enough to move up in the steadfast top 10. Annemiek van Vleuten is this year's UCI Women's World Tour champion. And even though Sofia Bertosola was unable to finish in Guangxi, she still ends her impressive season, comfortably taking the UCI Women's World Tour youth jersey to cap off the end of the season.